By nature, the Bible said, you are the sworn enemy of the Almighty. The Bible says that our fall is so great, our corruption so profound, that we will not have God in our thoughts. Our minds are reprobate. We don't want to think about God. God is loathsome to us in His holiness. And I say that to people, and they say, I don't feel like that. I don't feel like I hate God. I'm just indifferent. How does God regard your indifference? But as contempt for His very being. To be indifferent to me is to insult me, isn't it? And God says, this people hates me. And part of their hatred is seen as that they say they don't. They deny that they hate Him. Why? Because they really believe they don't hate God. For this reason. By the time I got to these high school kids, they had already spent all the years of their life reshaping, restructuring, and redefining God. They'd already stripped God of His holiness. They'd already taken away His justice. They'd already removed His wrath. And they had conjured up a God who was only love, only kindness, only mercy, only grace. He was a cosmic bellhop that you call by pressing a button when you need Him. He never sends anybody to hell. He never makes absolute demands upon your life. He just willy-nilly forgives you all the time. And they said, we don't hate God. Well, who would hate a God like that? But the very fact that their God that they said they weren't hate was already a substitute, an idol for the real God, revealed the depth of their hostility to the God who is. Don't make any mistake about this. Your basic nature is to hate the God who made you. And even conversion doesn't get rid of that altogether. You're an idol factory. You have as much drive and tendencies within you, if you're a Christian today, towards idolatry, as you can imagine. Christians run from the holiness of God. Christians run from the sovereignty of God. They don't want a God who's sovereign except when they need something. And there's a reason for this. Because the greatest enemy, beloved, to sin is holiness. Let me say it again. The greatest enemy of sin is holiness, and we understand that. We understand that if God is holy, we're in trouble. Because we're not holy, and we know it. That's why we want to push God out of our minds. The two things we don't like to think about: His holiness, our sin. And woe betide the prophet or the preacher who wakes us up to either one of them. We don't want that. But if you want life, we're going to have to face both of those things.